Content warning. This podcast contains bones, blood, smut, and swear words.
Before we get into the good shit this week, we wanted to remind you we have a Patreon. For just $1 or $2 an episode, you get extended games, brand new content, access to our notes and murder boards, which we are finally going to make at the end of this season, and much, much more. So if you would like to help Brooke necromantically redesign cattle to produce less methane and stop watching sunsets, you can head to patreon.com/frontline5th or follow the link in the show notes. Okay, now back to that sweet, sweet Bone Zone action.
I went to a whole conference that was talking about reprogramming cattle to make less methane, but they were doing difficult things like biology.
Boo.
Necromancy sounds so much easier.
More like moo.
Act 1. Welcome, penitents. Hello and welcome to the Frontline 5th, a Locked Tomb podcast where a couple of delightfully naive teacher's aides explore the Locked Tomb series for the first time, while a couple of dried-out bone witches cackle over how little they really know. We're currently reading Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and this week we are blowing up the world in chapters 26, 27, and John 120. I'm your host, Marie, and I spend not that much time, a lot of time avoiding thinking about our inevitable doom. But luckily, I'm joined today by my fellow bone witch, Hannah. Hannah, what is your favorite apocalypse, and what would be your role in it?
All right, so I do have to admit, I'm so sorry, Brooke, but my favorite apocalypse is a zombie apocalypse. Big fan of a zombie apocalypse. And I maintain that I have a dual role. My number one role is as traveling bard. And my second role is as distraction, being the slowest runner when we're trying to escape. I shall save my compatriots by refusing to do cardio.
Bard.
I will not do cardio. Yes, short-lived bard, have to create a new character. You got it.
Also with me today are our naive darlings, Brooke and John. Brooke, John, I know you're too innocent for the end of the world, but if you weren't, what end would you imagine and what part would you play in the tale of death and destruction? I'm pretty sure I already know John's answer, but let's hear it again.
I'm doing nothing. I'm dying real quick in the process.
Yep.
We're not going out a hero. We're not trying to survive in the nuclear wasteland or the zombie apocalypse. Like, I don't have the skills for that.
If there's no key lime pie ice cream,
Yeah, fuck that noise.
there's none of that, then John is out.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
I think
I'll go down trying to hunt Zuckerberg, but that's about it.
Fair. How about you, Brooke?
John, I'm with you, but I aspire to a slightly higher role of being that pitifully dead corpse that photojournalists take pictures of to make you feel something.
Ooh, it would work. Sorry, like I actually really feel
Thank
that
you.
that would be compelling.
make a
Artful
beautiful
arrangement.
corpse.
You'd be. That's exactly right. That's what I was saying.
I was about to say thank you, and then I learned I hated that.
Marie, what are you gonna do in the apocalypse, and which apocalypse are you choosing? And before you answer, are you the photographer who takes the picture of Brooke's corpse?
No, I'm not that good at photography, to my chagrin. What is my role in the apocalypse? My role in the apocalypse is trying to rebuild. So, okay, what type of apocalypse? Environmental disaster.
Okay,
Environmental
cool.
disaster, because I think like being in the center of everything, like it'll be like tornadoes and shit, probably, but like not likely to be flooding where I am.
I see.
The West Coast falls into the ocean via the fault line, that type of thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be that kind of a thing. Not earthquakes, fire is a problem, but if you got a car, maybe you can get away. Anyway. Environmental disaster. And I think my role is just trying to like live off the land and build up a society that is like a small communal society, because I think my kids are still alive. And so then I got to deal with that. So
I love that though.
Cult leader. Marie,
Yeah,
cult leader.
cult leader.
Yes. Oh, that's so rad. That makes me very happy. I might do cardio so I can join your cult.
Yeah,
so
you
I don't
can
have to
join.
be the
You're all
slowest to
welcome.
run away.
One goal.
You're all welcome. Before we get into the actual end of the world, what do you want to highlight about these chapters?
Oh my god, guys. After so many chapters of like drawing animals, taking dogs for walks, my heart broke like 5 times in these chapters, and I counted them. I counted all 5 times. Ready?
Yeah,
Yes.
tell us.
First, Nona's back in the game.
Oh,
Heartrending.
but she's on Kevin bathroom duty forever.
Yeah, only fair. Second, Commander Wake talking about Pash, or like the way she talked about Pash, like
Ugh.
again.
Child soldiers.
Ugh. And then, but also like Commander Wake in general is like not somebody that we had like much, we don't hear from her ever, right? Except
Right.
for as her vengeful ghost. So like getting the human side hurts.
And like this thing of where, you know, Commander Wake, when she was pregnant with Gideon, called Gideon the bomb, you know, so it feels like, okay, she has
Right.
no ability to like connect on a human, but it turns out she really can when it comes to like her little niece, who she's super fucking proud of.
And keeps a picture of in her pack. So like,
But it's a picture
Okay.
of her with a gun.
Right.
yes. Third, okay. This is Nona on top of the truck. She's trying to logic out and define whether she loves, and just,
And she can't figure it out.
you can't do that. But nobody can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to do that. Fourth, Nun shooting herself to help Jod. What the
Ugh.
fuck? Fifth, Electo at the end feels totally betrayed.
Yeah.
By Jod. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. It actually, you're right.
Just
This was some
hurt
heavy
a lot.
shit.
And like in so many different directions too. There was a lot. These were hard chapters. And I kept getting interrupted in these chapters, so it was really, really frustrating. I was like, if anybody knew what I was reading right now, they'd be really upset for me.
They would shut the fuck up.
Yes. John, I see that you have some of the same ones.
In all caps, listeners, in all caps, John has written his answers.
So many reveals. We have Pashwake, like that connection. We have the convoy reveal. We have the full...
Did you love that? Because I know you were so mad for so long about what the fuck the
convoy was.
like, why did we even have this side?
Yes, I was like, motherfucker.
Yes. I enjoyed hearing you complain about the convoy in previous episodes. let me tell you.
Anticlimactic. Super anticlimactic, honestly.
Well, we'll see. I have theories there. We get confirmation that God is not just a piece of shit, but
The piece of shit.
the piece of shit. Like the top of the mountain.
Celestial piece of shit.
Dibs on that for a band name.
It's more like a
Oh my
song
God,
name,
what-
John.
Yeah, oh, that's true. How God became God, we get confirmation on. Like, there's just...
There was a lot.
It's the pacing that Tamsin has done, like in all of the books, where it's like things are happening and sometimes it's crazy, but it's exponential as we get closer to the end of every book. Like all hell is breaking loose. We have heralds dropping from the sky. We just like glossed over that.
It's true.
Like Varun's talking through Judith. 1,000 different things in this chapter.
Some fucked up shit.
Motherfucker.
Our rampant speculation is a bit bulky this week, at
I'm
least in
looking
the
forward
outline.
to it. How could
But
it
we
not
also got
be?
some payoff on so many theories. So this was great.
That's true.
I will say, so for me in these chapters, this goes to Brooke's thing of my heart broke 5 times, right? It like, for me, one of the most powerful moments in the entire series is this moment when Nona goes to ask for help from Honesty, and she knows that she's been rejected and she's no longer part of the gang, but she has to do it. And she sees Hot Sauce, and it's all she wants in the world is like to be loved and pay homage to this person that she thinks of with such high respect. And for Hot Sauce to forgive her, to say, I love you, with no prompting, by the way, just like, I love you, Nona, and you can be back on the gang, but you have to be on Kevin bathroom duty. It's only fair, right? Which is, it's just this moment that is so, I'm literally getting goosebumps, so seriously at odds with what we see from Jod, right? So Jod is this person who like has massive vengeance in his heart
Yeah.
and furious anger over perceived slights. And then you have someone who like literally lost their whole family and was severely, horribly burned by necromancers and is able to like let it go for the sake of friendship, for the sake of someone that she trusts, even like having been taught her whole life and been proved her whole life that necromancers are dangerous and awful. And it's a really fucking incredible moment. And it speaks to the humanity lying underneath. There's some left.
No.
Yeah, I think,
So good.
all of this is great and very emotional. And I think that I'm still just stuck on the fact that, we've got Hollywood hair Barbie and Hollywood hair Ken and Midge. And you're just like, and that's like the first thing that came to mind?
I have to admit, I was so angry when I read this the first time. In fact, I'm still angry.
I think we should be.
I think she's really justified with, what is this hideousness?
Yeah.
Now we have meme watch, and there is so much.
We could just tear through it.
Tried so hard and come so far.
Linkin Park. Great song. Move
yeah,
on.
Linkin Park, probably. So Tessaphon Wing, we get the names of all of the rest of the cells, and they are all city names. And I think it's really interesting because a lot of them are very ancient, but some of them are very current.
Well, I mean, current for us, but 10,000 years old for them, right? So
yeah. We have End of the World.
so this is like not explicit, but it's so hard for me not to feel it given that like Melbourne is the first place to blow up. I just keep thinking fucking kangaroos, mate. They'll be dead soon.
It's multiple allusions to it in this, right? Because they're talking about like, it's like an old comedy skit, right? That's what he says at some point. That's what he's talking about.
That's true.
Yeah.
When they're talking about all the missiles flying around the world.
Well, and he's also like, oh, you know, shame about Melbourne, love a working tram system or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who doesn't love public transportation?
WTF, mate?
We have very clear allusions to Adam and Eve, but this is a very, very weird, reciprocal, fucked up origin.
Ribs sort of thing.
Yeah, Genesis story. We can get there. We have Hollywood Hair Barbie. If you have never looked up Hollywood Hair Barbie, please do. Please do look up Hollywood Hair Barbie.
Okey
Get an image in your
dokey.
mind.
I'm still
there's
mad.
also reference to Hollywood Hair Ken, who was a fucking creep, and I think he like fed it to his nana's dog. And of course there was Midge, and I like if you look up the Midge
Hollywood
doll,
hair Barbies from the 80s.
yeah, there's a Midge doll which was like Barbie's
No,
like
90s.
cousin or something.
Yeah, I had a
Whatever.
Midge doll.
Did you really?
Or maybe my friend had a Midge doll. But yeah, I played with a Midge doll at one point in my life. Redhead.
Yeah, the only reason I know about Midge is from the
Freckled.
Barbie movie.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know this existed.
At the same time that we're talking about Hollywood Hair Barbie, we get references to Galatea. So Galatea is the statue that Pygmalion falls in love with, and then the gods turn it into a real girl. He also
a little on the nose.
says- yeah, a little on the nose. He also calls her Frankenstein's monster, which is interesting, juxtaposed with Galatea. He mentions the One Nation nut jobs. So One Nation is like a nationalist party in Australia. Like very
I had no idea.
Yeah, very much like
All of the shit here?
all of the shit here, like white nationalist party.
Ick and or ew.
Ick and or ew. I didn't catch this one. Ice.
At one point, I think it's when they're activating the plan. One of them says, "Revenge is a dish served
Ice cold.
ice
Got it.
cold." Whichever I hear ice in a row, I think ice baby, or just like
We'll go with it. Sure.
ice
maybe.
ice cold.
Beep, 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 beep.
Reference to Hungry Caterpillar because that's what happens after he kills and eats Earth, and they go Hungry Caterpillar on the entire rest of the solar system.
It's the phrasing too. Going full fucking hungry caterpillar is like,
Yes.
I'm like, I feel it. I'm there.
And then now the deluge. And so I say that after I learned this, I go around saying, après moi le deluge. Explain, Hannah.
Oh, well, so part of this was that, so I put this in because I did not recognize this as a reference the first time it happened. So this is actually something that Palamedes and or Camilla says literally in like chapter 1 is like, and then the deluge, like in terms of what's going to happen next. And it's something that We Suffer says here. It turns out that it's a phrase that's like attributed to Louis XV. Après moi le deluge is like basically an after me. It's gonna fucking be end of the world. Like, who gives a shit anymore when I'm not there?
Shit's
like
going down.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
won't be there, so who cares?
It really is referenced, I think, twice in this book, and I hadn't realized. And it is kind of like a fucked up, cynical, there is nothing left. And also in the context of super rich, wealthy people having what they want and everybody else getting fucked.
I hate all the French kings, so this was great.
This is an obscene number of references in 1 week.
Ridiculous.
Obscene.
And I'm sure we missed some, honestly.
But with all of those stacked in our heads, let's settle back into the trucks so we can hunt down the convoy as we present Nona the Ninth, episode 16. Now, the deluge. Act 2. This is a matter of life.
This section of Frontline 5th is safe for anyone who hasn't read past John 1:20 in Nona the Ninth.
Let's recap. Chapter 26, Fourth House Skull. A Matter of Life. Honesty and Hot Sauce. Back in the gang.
Chapter 27, Second House Skull. The heralds come. You said you wouldn't do anything weird? I never was.
Well, we're all back with BOE. It's a fun little motley collection of characters. We suffer and Pash at the helm of a fleet of BOE trucks transporting. Nona getting closer to death all the time. Camilla definitely bleeding out. Calamities probably technically dead in the definitely dead body of Nibiria's Turn. Pyrrha presumably once dead, now in the live body of her dead best friend. Prince Kiriana Gaia mega dead and also playing dead. Coronabeth still looking fly as fuck and not dead. And the captain not yet dead despite the microseizures. She's come so far and fought so hard. It's a party!
Jesus.
It's important to me that you know that's my favorite thing I've ever written.
That is so good.
Everyone is, mostly dead, which means there's...
Someone's
someone
alive!
Yeah.
It's been so long since we did Princess Bride.
Yeah. Yeah, the average here is mostly dead, I think.
Yeah,
The
for
average
sure.
is mostly dead. We suffer is in actually a pretty good mood because she has good news and neutral news. Her people have infiltrated Mervwing and discovered that the Sixth House oversight body are being moved constantly in the tunnels under the city. As Pyrrha says, it's a classic Blood of Eden move. Fucking insane, surprisingly effective, relies on a lot of soldiers pissing in a lot of bottles. And Pash laughs at this and then hates herself immediately.
Sometimes it's too real, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help but laugh at what Pyrrha says.
Sorry, just under any other circumstance, Pyrrha and Pash would be besties. Like, they would hang out all the time.
They'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Pash is basically a little
Wake? Yeah.
Mini
Wake
Wake.
Junior, then
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Pyrrha
Yeah,
was basically her aunt-in-law.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Oh.
Pyrrha / Giddy One could have been the Funkle / like fun aunt.
Yeah.
Font.
Font? Font.
Fant? Font?
Anyway, Tessaphon Wing is trying to locate the trucks, but it's very hard to know where they are, and everyone is running short on time. And the adults are all freaking out about this when Nona, of all people, chimes in. It's obvious that We Suffer is describing the convoy, and Honesty nearly died trying to rob the convoy just a couple of days ago, and he'll be able to tell them where it is, or where it was. Of course, there's no way he'll tell someone in uniform, but he might tell Nona. And this is also one of my favorite lines where We Suffer says, children, they're very forgiving, which proved that she knows nothing about children.
Although, she actually ends up being 100% right.
She does end up being right.
What an insane payoff to the convoy. It's just the entire... it's the entire Sixth House just being moved around in tunnels all day.
You already met the Sixth House and you didn't even know it.
Well, why'd they gotta be so creepy?
Well, why did they have the iris dye in Nona's eyes when she was pretending to be Harrow? Same reason. They're necromancers.
Yeah,
But it was like the
I have
coordinated movement. I don't know.
I have
They
that
all
rampant
looked up at once.
speculation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think John already could put that two and two together.
For what it's worth, in the next set of chapters, you will find out what they've been doing the whole time to like take up their time, and I think you'll giggle. I giggled.
Yeah. They drop off Nona outside of Honesty's building, and she's pretty worried because, after all, Hot Sauce did kick her out of the gang for being a zombie. When she bangs on the door, Honesty at least cracks the door and talks to her. But he won't let her in because he's talked to Hot Sauce.
I just really love this moment when Nona is like, would you go against Hot Sauce? And Honesty is like, no. And Nona's like, great, because I would think a lot less of you if you did. And it just felt like, I love Nona's dedication to Hot Sauce, even in light of having been shot in the head.
By Hot Sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And kicked out of the gang.
Yup.
Yeah.
She's like, I
bitter
understand. It
feelings.
was Hot Sauce, though. Like, we're not going to fucking go against her. She knows what's up.
Yeah, zombies suck.
I'm
But
sorry to be
also,
one.
Nona, I think, is devastated herself to learn that she's a zombie.
Yes. Yeah, she is. Poor baby.
She's like, I'm a zombie? That's awful. I would shoot me too.
the worst.
But Nona needs to know where the convoy was. This is a matter of life because honestly, she's starting to not believe in death.
I think that's really fair.
Mm-hmm.
Nona tells Honesty that if he tells her the name of the street, she'll go away forever. And she wants him to have all of the coins in her ceramic fish in her room and the wiping rag from her desk at school because sometimes they put turpentine on it so he might be able to sell it to someone who gets high. And that last thing is what breaks Honesty. He won't ditch a girl like that, a girl who thinks of my business like that.
So question, because I'm not listening to the audiobook. What is Honesty's voice like in the audiobook?
It's like low and raspy, and it's like got a very specific, like kind of, it sounds like a street kid kind of like British-ish, like
because I read that as like the 1920s gangster being like, yeah, see, won't ditch a girl.
No, not like American gangster, but like Peaky Blinders maybe.
And to me, he just gives Artful Dodger really aggressively. So for me, it's very, very Oliver.
So the door opens and Hot Sauce is there. And Hot Sauce tells Nona to come in. She tells Honesty to write down the street name. And he's going to use his print because his joined-up writing is too sophisticated.
Of course it is.
Nona and Hot Sauce just sort of sit there looking at one another until Nona asks Hot Sauce to tell beautiful Ruby and Born in the Morning and Kevin that she loves them, and to tell the nice lady teacher she's sorry that she had to leave, and to tell the next teacher's aide to be nice to the tinies. And finally, Honesty hands Nona the piece of paper and it's time to leave, but she can't go without knowing. She asks Hot Sauce why she's called Hot Sauce. And the storied answer, the deep lore, spoken hushed voices wherever kids gather is, she really likes it.
This was a table flip moment.
This is really annoying.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? Because we think that Nona like understands people's true names. Like it's actually hot sauce. Like it's like the essence of hot sauce is hot sauce. It's so.
Well, this is why like other people are like,
not even
is that
the
really
essence
her
of
name?
hot sauce. It's just hot sauce.
It's literally just hot sauce.
Oh my god.
I also, okay, speaking of a flip the table moment, this is kind of like, we'll get there, but this is part of why I lost my shit with the Hollywood hair Barbie, is there comes a point when I'm like, Jesus fuck, Tamsin, let a moment land. Like, she's constantly undercutting.
Putting a joke in there.
Yeah, exactly. It just like reminds me of like, it reminds me of when you learn Wake's name, or when Harrow tries to jump into the pool all like deep and like dark, but makes an awful splash when she goes in. She's just like constantly undercutting her moment. God damn it.
Nona can't help herself, and she reaches out and hugs Hot Sauce and begs for forgiveness. And Hot Sauce says, "We're cool. I'll always love you, Nona." And Nona can be back in the gang, but she's on Kevin bathroom duty forever for being a zombie. That's fair.
It is. That really seems fair.
Oh my god.
Wait, before we move on, can I ask you guys a question? This was a question that I was thinking about for our like intro. If you were named, based on Hot Sauce's naming convention, what would your name be?
I don't have favorites.
Cheesesteak.
Oh, something that I put on a cheesesteak? You put cheesesteak on everything?
Well, mine is dumplings. Like, it's like unequivocally, I would eat dumplings for the rest of my life. You can call me Dumpling. That is correct.
Might be kimchi.
Rad.
Cheesecake.
Oh my god, cheesecake and cheesesteak taking over the world. Let's move on.
I think this just says that cheese is just really good.
I did consider mac and cheese for a minute.
Yeah.
Which is great with kimchi.
Oh,
Actually, that would be good. That would be really good.
Everything's better with kimchi.
Or mac and cheese.
I'm going to make some kimchi today. I have decided that's what my afternoon is going to be. It's been so long since I've had good kimchi because I haven't made it.
It'll still be another week or so yeah.
But it's nice fresh.
It is good fresh, too. I really appreciate that almost every week we inspire Marie to like her lunchtime plans.
I didn't get sherbet. I listened back and I didn't get sherbet. I'm so upset.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, when Nona gets back to the trucks, everything goes into overdrive and Operation Lock and Key is back on. And I can only assume that Operation Lock and Key is getting Gideon's body in so we can go to the tomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only thing it can be?
I think so.
Yeah.
Pyrrha has a lot to say about how Commander Wake would have handled the situation. Definitely not by freeing a bunch of Ninth Housers. And Pyrrha says she'd like to think that she knew Wake as well as anyone could know her. But this pisses Pash off. And Pyrrha keeps pushing because that's who Pyrrha is. And she tells Pash that Wake always carried a photo of her. Our Lady of the Passion back when she was 9 or 10, missing a front tooth, carrying an automatic rifle. Missing a front tooth is probably 6 or 7, actually.
Yeah, this is literally just the information that was in there.
Did it say 9 or 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, but it was Pyrrha guessing 9 or 10. So
Yep.
it's
Pyrrha doesn't know
Pyrrha
kids'
doesn't know.
ages.
Honestly, she's
Missing
really
a
close
tooth is
for
probably
being
7.
thousands of years old. Six or 7 versus 9 or 10 when you're thousands of years old. You're close.
Or also not have ever had children or been around
For what
them.
it's worth, I lost 3 teeth on 3 consecutive Fridays in the 3rd grade. So that would have been when I was 8. You're welcome, everyone.
Wow.
Those aren't the ones you turned into. Okay, anyway. She's missing a front tooth. She's carrying an automatic rifle that's too big for her. And Pyrrha had asked Wake if she was a nice kid. And the proud answer was no. She's my flesh and blood. She takes after me. Because Pash was her niece. And I feel like Nona would probably be deeply interested in this conversation, but she's seriously struggling with the near-death thing at this point, and weird things are happening outside. There are things falling from the sky. They at first think maybe it's rockets or mortars or something, landing with enormous catastrophic thuds that throw up stone and cause the truck to swerve. And it's actually the heralds. Varun the Eater is attacking the planet. These falling things are heralds. It's game over.
I gotta go back because like the reason the whole Pash thing was like I think really like tingly is because like Pash has been like a dick this whole time, but we finally know why.
Yeah,
Combination of things. 1, genetic predisposition. Let's face it. But 2,
yes.
Familial bonds
in a huge
like
way.
real ones.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
it's
just
really
blood
clear
ones.
that she and Wake had a really important relationship. That she was like a cool aunt that Pash
that was
relied
also
on.
this mythical figure in
Yes.
this organization.
And this
I
is
also
her
think-
murderer in front of her.
Yes, yeah.
But
Great
also
point.
lover.
And right, like it's so messed up.
Weird
and
and yucky.
I think that scene is so interesting for Pasha's reaction as she's listening, because I think it says she has like basically like almost like a religious experience listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this like last story of this person who really mattered, and it's a real story instead of, I'm sure that she walks around, everyone she knows sees Wake as a mythical creature that like maybe didn't even really exist, and it's all just platitudes.
Perfect,
and it's
godly
Yeah.
Yeah,
decisions.
but this is a real story about
Yeah.
you and your relationship to this person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ugh.
that's crazy.
That's why it broke my heart.
The heralds attacking might not be quite game over because Nona stands up. She pushes Pyrrha aside. It's also really interesting the way that she is described doing this, because it sounds like Nona in tantrum mode, but not without the rage of just very much like you can't like she pushes Pyrrha out of the way. She grabs Crown's sword and cuts it out of the scabbard.
Yeah.
And she climbs on top of this moving truck, but the sword is in her way, so she sheathes it in her hip.
I just really quickly wanted to mention, because I feel like I haven't had an opportunity to mention this since Gideon the Ninth. I fucking love this. Necromancy is a great way to make sure you always have pockets. I like really feel strongly about this, that if I had necromancy,
Abigail with the key.
100%, I'd be using it for pockets all the time. I love that she sheaths that
We'd all be
sword in her hip.
marsupials. Yeah, necromantic marsupials.
God. But these descriptions, it's gotta be so gory. Sheathing the sword in her hip, unsheathing it from within her, like.
Some of the shirt went into the wound. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
Cool.
came outside the back. So gory.
She stands on the truck and she's watching the rain of heralds and she screams at the sky, "You said you wouldn't do anything weird!"
In fairness to Varun, there was no response.
Yes, I agree. Varun never said that he, she, they would not do anything weird. It was Nona who asked, asked, not answered.
Your Honor, my client never gave an affirmation of not doing anything weird.
Thanks, John.
What is that?
It might just be a voice.
Inglorious Bastards or something?
Behind her, the captain also climbs on top of the still moving and juking truck, and she says a lot of interesting, weird shit, so here's some of it. Get him! Get him! He flees! You asked for help. I gave you blood for blood. And Nona says, not like this. I love this place. And she's always loved this terrible, shitty city. And the captain says, green and breathing thing, where will your body go? What did he do to you to make you live this way? And Nona tells the voice to stop hurting the captain, pulling out a cam phrase. You're acting out. Maybe you should take 5.
It's an interesting like counterpoint here. So it's totally what you said, Marie, right? Like she is in whatever tantrum mode. She like hoists herself to her feet. She like pushes over Pyrrha like it's nothing. She's climbing out. It's an epic moment. And then she's still Nona when she talks. She's still saying things like take 5 or like you said you wouldn't do anything weird.
And the captain says, for 8,000 unjust bodies, I will stop. I came to help. I am made a mockery. They're coming out of their tower, salt thing. And Nona tries to reason with her, saying that Hot Sauce et al. Never did anything wrong except for honesty, but he honestly just doesn't know any better. And Cam and Pell never did anything wrong, and Pyrrha says she did, but she knows it.
What the fuck does that mean? Nobody knows what that means.
What, that Pyrrha says she did things wrong?
No, salt, like this whole...
Oh, salt.
We can do that later. Nona says, just wait. Just help me. Help me do this. I might be different soon. The captain looks at her with normal eyes open, apparently not possessed anymore, and says doubtfully, Harrowhark? And Nona just says, no, and I never was.
Obviously.
What the fuck does that mean?
Maybe she's figuring it out.
Meanwhile, in a dream, Act 3, me in my bedroom with a nun and a migraine.
John 1:20. Finding the soul. Dead man's switch. The end of the world.
In the dream, they head into the old facility and eat canned peaches and syrup while he tells her about the end. Turns out that the FTL scheme wasn't a question of pay to play. They had thought that the FTL ploy was to make people pay to jump the queue, but it's worse than that. There was no queue at all. The trillionaires heading up the FTL project hadn't bothered to actually build a second round of ships. There was no second wave. They're leaving us to die. And this actually makes the most sense. Like, what use is money if, like, the world is ending?
Yeah.
John tried to talk to their government, but it spooked the FTL people. And the timeline sped up dramatically, and those ships were now leaving in days, not months. The only thing they could think to do was to take advantage of the literal suitcase nuke stashed under the floorboards as incentive to get the world's governments to shut down the launch. So G went off to negotiate, nuke in hand. Speaking of hands, on a whim, before sending G off, John cuts off his arm and grows him a new one. And he says, should still be around here. I've got plans for that arm.
That keeps a piece of all of the eventual lictors nearby.
We'll get there.
So wait, real quick, do we think Gideon's original name is like Gary or Greg or like Jeff spelled the inferior way, perhaps?
Whoa.
Shots fired. Listeners, write in if your name is spelled Jeff with a G.
Geoff, yeah.
So there they were, G on his way to Australia to meet their contacts, everyone else sitting on their hands, and out of nowhere, C finally admits that she's dating N.
Everyone's like, duh.
And everybody's like, yeah, we know. Why don't you get married? There's a nun here. The nun's like, that's not how this works.
Who cares?
Who cares? The world is ending. So they get married there at the facility while everyone is waiting for G to land, and John makes flowers grow out of the garden for them. But the roses came out a little weird. They had teeth, but C and N think it's hilarious.
I would think it was hilarious.
I hate all this. We get another mention of teeth. Like, it's teeth and time are the ones that were, like, missing just...
Okay, here's the thing, though. And my friend who's a dentist will never listen to this, so it's not a problem. Teeth are fucking disgusting. They are bones that jut on the outside of your body. You're not supposed to have bones on the outside of your body. And so...
But they're not actually bones, really. They're something different.
No, they are different, but they're quite closely related. But either way, it's, like, hilarious to me. I think that Tamsin just thinks that mouths are gross. Like, it's always, like, mouths and tongues and teeth. And she's just like, ugh, human teeth everywhere. Blah, 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 blah.
Especially teeth in wrong places.
When G lands... Yeah, it's like those teratoma or whatever. Isn't that what they're called? Teratomas. Yeah. What did I say?
Translate to like anyway. Literally like terrible thing.
That
teratoma
checks out. I have no idea, but I believe it.
Well, fact check us later.
I don't think, do any of you guys, this might have just been like a white guy in the suburbs moment in high school, but do you guys remember the movie Teeth? That movie had an absolute stranglehold on my high school in 2007.
No.
Sorry,
I don't know about this, and I'm glad I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I want more information.
Thank you, though.
I do.
Dear listeners, the Teeth movie.
What was it about?
No. I said we weren't getting into this.
Fair enough.
When G lands, John told their contacts and all of his friends and colleagues at the facility that the nuke is A, armed, and
BG.
Sorry, that's my fault. I shouldn't have written it this way. I could have done 1 and 2.
When G lands, John told their contacts and all of his friends / colleagues at the facility that the nuke is 1, armed, and 2, G is a dead man switch. And everyone goes apeshit. And that's not all! Remember the dead politician who John was puppeting? The one they traded for a couple $2 billion and that very same suitcase nuke? John has sequestered him away and locked the doors, and at any moment, John can have that politician who has executive power over all his country's nuclear codes pull the trigger.
So American president, or is this a common feature of all these other countries?
I think it's the Australian PM.
Oh, I think it has to be the American president. I'm completely
You think so?
convinced.
The Australians don't have nukes.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah.
WTF, mate?
That just seems like really poor planning.
Well, just in general, maybe don't have one person who's in charge of all the nukes. You realize this could happen to us today.
Yep.
I will
like
once
before
again,
the end of this record, and I won't be able to save it.
Yeah, I will once again plug the Behind the Bastard episodes where they talk about mutually assured destruction and like the advent of the nuclear apocalypse over the last 40 years and how close we got to nuclear war many times and how stupid the whole system is. If you want to not sleep well at night.
Thanks.
Yeah. In any case, he's not just threatening to nuke Melbourne, he's threatening to cause a full nuclear war. It's not a fair conversation if you have this nuke on the table.
Fucking love that line.
Our friends at the facility are freaking out. C says, John, your problem is that you care less about being a savior than you do about meting out punishment.
Oh my god, that's a fun sentence.
It's also accurate.
Very Old Testament.
Yep.
And I think he says something about, like, that's very mean. I was just your best man. And she was like, that doesn't change the fact that you can be quite the most appallingly vindictive person I have ever met.
This is consistent over 10,000 years, apparently, which is wild.
Good.
Isn't that interesting that, like, I feel like these people just solidify as opposed to experiencing any change? They don't grow, or at least Jod doesn't.
Well, I think we have to be a little loose with the resurrected ones because, you know, they're fucked up.
Yeah, they might have been messed with.
Meanwhile, Jod has fucked with himself and has now turned himself into some sort of a omnipotent creature that now can no longer be described maybe as fully human in the ways that we expect humans to grow and learn and change.
But he's still shitty in the way humans are.
Things escalate, as you can imagine they might. And some of the cultists, armed with semi-automatics, flip out and start taking hostages. And the facility goes on lockdown. And John, the way that he deals with this is locking himself in a bedroom with Ulysses and Titania. The
only people who won't talk back to him. You know, he doesn't want to be contradicted. That's like the core of it.
In the dream, John takes her to see the bedroom where it happened. There's a pile of wet brown clothes he won't look at. So one of our commenters pointed us to this theory that like maybe the nun was like that tells us like what order she would have been in.
That it's brown?
Yeah, that it's brown. I think it's written in such a way that I think it's the blood on the clothes.
Yeah, just old blood.
So it's uncertain. Yeah. In any case, that's the remains of the nun because he's locked in his bedroom and the nun came to him from the outside of the door and she's talking to him and then she said she thought she understood what needed to happen and she wanted to help him. And so he lets her in and she shoots herself in front of him with Pyrrha's gun.
It's an interesting set of things that happen there, right? So like she's knocking from the outside and she actually has this little monologue where she's saying that she honestly thinks that when things are really bad and people are genuinely afraid that people don't rise to the occasion. That as much as like you'd like to believe that everyone would like stand up and be a good guy, like that fear is something that actually dampens us down and makes us less human as opposed to something that brings out the best in us. But she's going to help. She's going to like, you know, she's like, John, I need you to focus. And then she kills herself. It's fucking insane.
Because she's been the one this whole time that's been like trying to work with him on this chemical X, right?
the soul.
Yes.
She was the one who brought up that it had to exist, that there was a thing missing. She's the one that's been trying to push him to find it. And he is, like, I have a whole thing about this at the end and, you know, like in my notes for Marie, but it's fine to do it here, that it really, I find it very interesting that the people he is most dismissive of are the nun and A's little brother. And he never, ever gives them, like, letter names. He never refers to them by name. He refers to them as A's brother or hedge fund brother and the nun or Mercy's nun, which makes them things. It makes them not people. It makes them expendable. And they are the two people actually who are better than him, I think. I mean, almost everyone is better than him, but there's something like to be said about the fact that the nun figures out something
higher than him.
Yes, they do. They believe in something bigger than him. And they also, frankly, are smarter than him in specific ways that he can't handle. Like, legitimately, it feels like they too, in this chapter, are the ones who are going through the finances and figure out what the FTL people are doing. Like, they are the ones who figure it out. The nun is the one who figures out what's missing.
Stepping up.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he likes when other people should be getting the credit.
Probably. I think you're probably right. Dude, I don't know what this nun thought she was helping, what she thought was going to happen once he had this figured out.
Well, she believed that he was better than he was, because what happens? She was right. Because after she does that, her soul hung there for a moment in front of him, and it's the first time that he saw it close up. It was like a tiny atom bomb, which is also chilling in light of this entire chapter. The reason he hadn't been able to understand the soul was that when he saw the soul, he saw you. He says, you drowned everything out. You were so huge and so complicated, and you were screaming.
It's an interesting thing that if that's like true, they advanced necromancy so much on the 9 houses because they're all on dead planets. They can't see the souls. Right, like they like this. Would the 6th house be able to do science? That's a really good point.
That's interesting.
Would the 6th house be able to do science on these places if they or like? Would they have been able to figure out so much about the soul if like the entire solar system wasn't dead? Like if Earth's soul is blinding, what about the
without the noise that is the planetary soul?
John walks out, leaves her dead in the room, and goes out to find his friends being shot one at a time.
The writing here is really unclear. I'm genuinely not sure who's doing the shooting. It almost sounds like they're shooting one another. We know that there are cultists that are about to come in and shoot everyone. Like, it's just some fucked up chaos.
It sounds like they had brought other people in over the past however amount of time, and then it said that the people that he, basically was threatening with the nukes had managed to convert some of them on the inside somehow.
And the phrasing is really fucked up too. They're making each other dead one at a time.
Right, because he feels their deaths, right? Basically, the death is what is
but
impactful
making
to him.
them dead as opposed to, like, killing them takes away a lot of the
humanity.
And he also doesn't interfere. He just watches them die and collects up their souls.
Hannah just threw 2 birds.
And now, finally, the story comes to the part where he hurts her. He just wanted her to stop screaming. He wanted her like a caveman wants a wildfire or the sun. She kept screaming like a baby in pain. So he tried to hurt her.
What does this mean?
So many thoughts. First of all, what a fucking awful analogy. Like a caveman wants a wildfire or the sun. Like, completely useless, awful analogy. And secondly, as a general rule, listener, when a baby is screaming in pain, you don't fucking hurt them.
Just felt... yeah, worth pointing out, I guess.
So what does he do? He reaches out his power and stops G's heart. The bomb goes off. Melbourne is vaporized, and he eats every death. He sets off the nukes from the puppet politician, and the world went down in dominoes. He kills everyone on the planet, but he can't reach the FTL ships that have left atmosphere. So he kills her, takes her soul, tries to eat it. It's so enormous that he can't do it. So he eats dirt till he vomits, and then he builds a new body from his own ribs to contain the rest of the soul that he couldn't eat. And he models it off of Hollywood hair Barbie. He was stressed, okay?
What the fuck?
I didn't think you could feasibly make a body like a Barbie. Like, I thought it was going to topple over.
I don't know, man.
That's really funny. You would need to add like extra differential tendons or weight somehow or in order to keep it upright. Do you think that Electo walks on her toes all the time, like all on the balls of her feet?
Oh, man. Fuck. They go full fucking hungry caterpillar. He kills off all the other planets in the system, reaching reaching towards those ships. And he grabs one as it's spinning up to enter FTL. He can feel all the souls aboard. What did I say? He can feel all the souls aboard, and then it's lost. At the end of it all, she says, I picked you to change, and this is how you repay me? What have you done to me? I am a hideousness. And she says, where did you put the people? Where did they go? And she says, I still love you. Well, there you have it. It's a story about love, which leads ever so perfectly into this week's game.
Oh my god.
Interstitial, the fucking tooth bouquet. This week, the big reveal was the toothy grins that light up C and N's wedding, which is why in this week's game, we are doing wedding planning.
Hooray!
This week...
Jesus Christ. What a hard switch.
This week, I've asked each of our hosts to ship 2 characters and plan the greatest wedding of their generation. Let's do it.
Oh, who's got the darkest one? Let's start there.
I think mine's quite lovely, actually.
I think yours is pandering, Brooke. It's fine.
I don't want to go first. I feel like I'm still in a bad mood about the whole nuclear warfare situation and killing Earth and then killing the solar system.
I'll go first because I think partly it's tragic, and also I had to think about like what is my actual ship, because I think that I have so very few actual ships in this book. My actual true ship is Mercy and Augustine.
Yeah.
I love this for you.
I love it too.
And this is because I think the way that they hate
Enemies
each other
to lovers.
Like when we see them in Harrow, but also the way that they interact and like the thing that they say like at the end when they're like in each other's arms and consoling each other after Mercy thinks she's killed God, and she, you know, he says, you know, bury my bone, like my bones will rest easy next to your bones, is just like, oh, these two.
It is purely romantic, yes.
There is something there, and so my supposition is that actually they were a couple in the facility. This is my thing.
Okay.
So this is pre-resurrection.
10,000 years ago.
Like power couple who is always like, you would never know that they were married if you didn't know they were married. Like kind of power couple, because he always says like if they are agreeing with each other, then you had to be like, oh shit. Like I think that they are just have like this very intense relationship that's incredibly like distinct to them. And so like how did they meet? I think they met when they first started working with John. I think that, or like they first started hanging out with John. I think it was maybe even before the facility, but like that's how they met, and nobody knew that they were married forever. In fact, like John may have never have figured it out, which is why he did this weird personality swap, because that's how they met. There wasn't actually a proposal. It was just like like we need to do this for tax purposes, and they just head to the courthouse one day, and they get it done. But also because Mercy is just that way, they do have this album of just fucking sick photos from their courthouse wedding that's just the two of them and the judge.
Love it. Love it.
They both looked beautiful, though. They both were wearing, like, it's not like they went and got a wedding dress, but, like, they looked fine as fuck.
No, they looked amazing. I'm thinking about, like, the Mom Donnie, like, courthouse, like photo, like, courthouse wedding photos where it was, like, it's a very cute, like, not as cutesy as that, but, like, that artistic and, like, that, like, dressed up and they, like, look nice and whatever.
I love it.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that looks spot on. I'm looking it up. That's cool. I love it. I think that's perfect.
We had a fan theory that proposed this idea that Mercy and Augustine actually were lovers in the before times. And I wish I had my list right here.
I wonder, did I just steal that from them because you told me about this?
Maybe it was inspired.
Maybe.
You know what, dear listener? We ship you and us.
I have to find, I think I have it saved. I'm going to send the chat one of my favorite, and I'll try and remember to like find it and put a link in the show notes, but maybe I won't remember. Sorry. But one of my favorite fan arts is like Mercy and Augustine. So I'm gonna find it while you guys.
I'm really here for it. I think it's a great idea, and I love your description of it. And this is not the real one that I'm going to do, but I want you to know one of the ones I thought about doing was Mercy and Crux, which I thought would be hilarious because if they had a wedding, it would be like meticulously planned, unbelievably beautiful, perfect centerpieces, like actually just so perfect. And Crux would be just bitching the entire time, and everyone has an awful time. That's like the whole wedding. Anyway, that's all. That's not the one I'm doing. God, do you guys want to go next? Should I go next?
I want to hear your ship.
Okay, I want We Suffer and Iglamine. I'm like legitimately excited about them. I think they're a wonderful couple. I think they meet on the battlefield in like a moment where, you know, there's a potential for being just like cruel and underhanded, but instead they're just honorable soldiers, and they like, you know, kind of have like a moment of eye contact and salute. And so they see each other a couple more times over the course of the war, and end up actually just getting together, and we get a full Romeo and Juliet story. So Iglamine is the one who proposes. It's very traditionally, you know, like on one knee, presents We Suffer a ring of melted down gunmetal inlaid with bone. At the actual wedding, Iglamine wears her captain's uniform, and We Suffer wears a wedding dress, which is simple, elegant, clean lines with subtle lace detail of flowers, as well as lace flowers in her hair. They do a very straightforward pre-written set of vows for both of them, but they are not in any way like religious. They are not in any way connected to the Nine Houses religion. And let's see what else here. The actual ceremony is like, I think it's literally in the manor house where Pyrrha and Cam and Nona go to meet Blood of Eden and Tessa Von Wing.
Oh my God.
I think it's like in the hall there. And it's been like cleaned up, but it's still, you can kind of see like it's ramshackle a little bit, like bombs have taken down parts of it. It's quite a simple ceremony. It's in the morning, and then later they have a dinner that night. Practical food, but shockingly like delicious, just like very straightforward. The cake is a simple 2-layer yellow cake, naked style, minimal frosting, single pink flower on top. I have done this whole wedding up. I'm like ready to go.
Wow.
So everything is like very just simple, straightforward, elegant. And it's one of these things where like neither of them is doing overt shows of emotion, but you can tell they're just standing there straight backed and like content and happy, and you only really see it just that night in the dancing, because it turns out they both can dance. They're fucking getting down. They're having like the best time dancing, not noticing anyone around them.
With her one leg.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm all in on this wedding, all in on this ship forever. Iglamine and We Suffer. They don't have a relationship name.
I like it.
We Suffer and We Iglamine. It's no good.
No. Unfortunately, I decided to go for one that has a couple name. I decided to fully commit to what happens if Judith and Corona Beth were shipped together. Full disclosure.
I'm interested. Go.
Full disclosure. No, this is fine. I just don't think that these two actually get together in any other situation except for like an arranged political marriage.
Yep.
Like, to me, that's it. That's what happens. That's what brings them together. And there's probably, like, some, like, very contrived reason for this political marriage. Like, I don't know. The only way that this traitor third house princess is, like, given clemency is by marrying the admiral's crippled daughter.
You know what this is giving? It's giving, like, the Roman church trying to fold in various pagan religious times into their calendar with the Christian calendar in order to just make everyone happy and make it all go away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This is how we make it go away. The problems go away. So I think Judith sees this as a duty, and she just agrees to the whole thing without complaint. And Corona Beth is like pretty stoked about the whole idea of like Judith is like this delightful challenge to like get to actually love her in their marriage. So they go for it, and it is obviously any Corona Beth wedding is going to be the wedding of the myriad.
Oh yeah.
Like over 1,000 people are invited. It includes every single person who has ever turned her down.
Of course it does.
Anyone attends, of course. It is insanely fancy schmancy. Like, it's probably in this like amazing Art Deco style space station. There's like flowers that float, these like space flowers. I'm getting like the full Avatar flowers that are like glowing and like floating.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. And they're both in white suits, except that Corona's has got like this crazy cape situation going on, and Judith's is actually technically some sort of like this straitjacket medical device, but like it's got to keep her upright, But like, it also just comes off as like the most militant of all military attire ever. And the marriage lasts, I believe, but the couple's like pretty much rarely ever seen together going forward.
I love that.
Interesting.
Can I say that I also feel strongly that in all of the photos, like, Anthe's there, but so far off to the side that you sort of forget.
Oh, yeah. She's probably also wearing white.
Oh, she
no,
definitely
dude, this is a wedding
is.
where everybody's wearing white. Everybody's wearing white at this wedding. It's just the thing.
It's actually a very cool aesthetic.
I picked the most basic one. I picked Griddle Hark.
Send it, John.
We can skip so much about how they met and everything else. I want to talk about the wedding invitations. It's just a skull of your nearest ancestor that was in the or that was like on the ninth house, and it's just a skull that comes like screaming out of space.
It's
and
like
just
a
comes to you and
physical
invites
skull.
you.
It's not like okay.
Yeah. The skull can either talk to you or it like opens its mouth and like a just invitation falls out, like something like that.
Isn't this from the Dresden Files? A talking skull.
A skull puking another skull.
Yes.
Yes, something like that. And then the only thing I feel really strongly about is, number one, they're getting married on the ninth house, obviously. And then two, Gideon is wearing a sleeveless tuxedo.
And her arms
are
are
the
cut.
level of wedding planning that I expect from a man.
I'm really liking this, actually. Oh my god. Yeah.
And then I'm basically just picturing like a combination of somewhere meeting in the middle where it's like an incredibly serious, somber thing that Harrow has to plan for like keeping up appearances, but then like the after party's insane.
Oh
it's
yeah.
Like,
Gideon like insisted on taking the reception as her duty that she got to plan, and Harrow had nothing to do with it. She just had to be there.
And Gideon's like full on dancing to the chicken dance, and Harrow is trying so hard to hold it together.
There's a conga line.
But she's happy a little bit. She's secretly underneath. She's like, yeah, but this is awesome.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, there's arm wrestling for sure.
Well, I've got to find a tissue because that was beautiful. I'm barely going to be able to hold it together during rampant speculation.
I'm so glad John went last.
Act 4. Nobody likes a peacemaker. Brooke and John aren't just great at befriending dogs, they're also brilliant conspiracy theorists. So Brooke and John, what the fuck is happening?
Jesus fuck. What a set of chapters.
There's only 3. I was so frustrated to be interrupted constantly in the middle of reading these. Okay, my notes are in chronological-ish order.
Wait, before we get into your notes,
was the first. Oh, go for it.
Can we give ourselves a nice pat on the back for getting, like, I would say 85% of the way there with John's origin story?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the pieces were there. The right pieces were there.
Yeah. We had all the pieces. We didn't have them quite in the correct order, but we got pretty damn close. So I think we get points for that.
We'll walk through that here in a minute. But I agree. Yeah, I think we did a pretty. Not there were some reveals, but like we were ready for them. So okay, starting at the beginning of this set of chapters, let's talk about the convoy situation. So we kind of touched on this earlier. That like okay, so this is the 6th house oversight body. This is not some set of like weird revived wide-eyed zombies unless, well, okay, I guess if you're Blood of Eden, you're calling them wide-eyed zombies. But they are people, their eyes are probably dyed white for reasons of protecting them against Varun, and they're underground, which is helpful. But like, I guess you told us that we're going to find out more about what they're doing down there. Why are they all moving together as one? It feels a little sixth house-ish that they'd be kind of like trained to operate in a similar way.
Yeah, or it'd be like a sixth house thing where like they select one person who's been sacrificing this entire time to like keep them all in like out of.
I think I interpreted like the moving all as one so much more simply, which is necromancers can sense life. And so if they're all actually blinded, then
you think they're literally blinded?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
I think
I think they are literally blinded. Like the white stuff, I think is like what they were trying to like when Nona had it, she couldn't really see. So I think they're literally blinded, and it's like them all moving at one isn't like necessarily some sort of like other kind of like metaphysical thing other than the fact that they're all necromancers and they're all like, what's that? And it looks like they move at once because they all have like the same. It's like when somebody slams a door.
Yeah.
You all look at the same
everybody
place.
all looks at the same time. It's not like
No,
especially creepy or unusual that they would all look at once.
My understanding was that like the theory, right, is that something about the visual spectrum transmits this like blue madness, right? So blinding yourself is protective. But for me, the looking all at once is this story that I now have to tell you. Once I was at circus class and I came late because I am always late 100% of the time. You've already heard this? Okay, I'll shut the fuck up.
You have told this story.
I was actually trying to think of this story as Marie was talking about this because I was reminded of the story that you told. Everybody looking over, but I don't remember what it was that they were looking at.
Well, no, literally. So I came out of the bathroom. Everyone's head snaps to me right at once. The entire room
they were
looking at me.
Doing their neck
and then
stretches.
they go back to the other direction. It turns out they were just doing neck stretches side to side.
Nice, yeah.
Well, we do have to, we celebrate our wins, but we also have to count our losses here. So just for our audience, I am going to throw out that I had put in here, and this sounds like this will never happen, so you get to laugh at how dumb we are sometimes. I said it would be a super Tamsin thing to make the zombies actual zombies. Like the end of this is the sixth house have been turned into actual zombies. And that would be a disaster.
There's still time.
Sounds like we're way off base on that. So just you guys get a taste.
Himself out over here.
Yeah, peek behind the curtain. Sometimes we're smart. Sometimes we're dumb.
It's mostly wild shots in the dark. Just turns out Tamsin Muir is a little chaotic, and so some of those wild shots land. Let's see. Okay, so we'll get more information about that going forward. I'm excited. And also, I still think, like Juno Zeta is on there, right? That's Pal's mom. Like, I think that she's part of the oversight body. So, like, it's been funny of, like, it's been talked about how Cam's sister's there, but, like, Pal's mom's there, too. Anyway. Important people. Okay, so going into all the Jod shit. This long-ass chapter of Jod shit. So, we're getting the story here of how he just mowed down all the planets, full Hunger Caterpillar mode, just on a power trip to get to the people that were in the Kuiper Belt.
Kuiper. Sorry.
Kuiper. Thanks. No, genuinely.
Yeah, the Kuiper stands are coming for us.
Just to the people in the Kuiper Belt.
Yeah.
At some point, it'll be really embarrassing. Oh, like airing it on a podcast. Okay, so this explains Varun earlier saying, I poison the universe to match my grief, or at least a part of his grief, right? So this just fucking indiscriminate attack on the solar system.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Hurt planets.
Yeah, John, it makes sense now why all the resurrection beasts, which are the former souls of the planets, or I guess like the reverence of the souls of the planet, all hate him and are trying to like murder him for the last 10,000 years. That tracks and probably is fair. But yeah, I mean, it's craziness. He was just, killing entire planets just to try to kill all the humanity on like the edge of the solar system.
Right. And it kind of we also have this comment from Varun about like, you asked for help, and we are, whatever, we're helping you here or something, in which begs the question of like, what is AL's game here? Like, what does AL want? And so what kind of got laid out for us in this chapter was that there's this insinuation that like Earth chose Jod, like human Jod, to give him necromancy powers to fix the dying Earth problem. That's like sort of insinuated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then Jod uses these powers to kill every human on Earth, and like we keep seeing that every dead human like makes AL very mad or like screaming in pain. But so he kills every human on Earth, he then kills Earth, he then kills people in ships, and then he kills all the planets. Jod then gives AL a human form, or during this time he gives AL a human form, and then AL is upset with Jod, saying, I picked you to change, and this is how you repay me. And I can't tell if she's upset just about the body, more or less, Like, what was she expecting him to do with necromancy as the power to fix things?
Well, they do float like some possible suggestions, right, in the chapter where they're talking about like stabilizing the North Pole or like whatever, or like doing some atmospheric stuff. Like they're, in theory, with necromantic powers, he could have probably saved the Earth, or at least like done something more than just like doing the equivalent of shaking a baby, where he just nukes the entire Earth.
Well, there's some part of me that says, yeah, okay, that's dark. There's part of me that just thinks that maybe she did want him to kill most people because people are the problem, but like maybe she can't seem to do it herself. Like she doesn't seem to. Maybe she just cannot bring herself to kill people, but like needed it to happen in some extent, and just then like going out into the solar system, killing the planet, doing that to her was not part of her expectations.
I think my speculation has always been that there was something about Jod that made it so that she could pick him, and she picked him. And what do you hear about him, like, once he starts getting this is like, he does start off doing things to like help heal people and doing stuff. And then he gets vengeful, and then he like starts killing animals to do this stuff. And then you start hearing that fresh deaths are like crack cocaine. And then
just
as soon
addict.
as he can see the soul, that like this was a power that could be like, this is my supposition, that it was a power that could be one way or the other. And because of who he was, he basically traveled the wrong way, right? Of like, opium is a drug that can be helpful, and also it's incredibly addictive and harmful.
So she chose him for the scenario he had put himself in, the role he was playing in the cryo project, and it turns out he's an addict and can't be responsible.
Yeah, he could have been a savior.
Something like that,
he could have been a savior. He chose necromancy, right? Like he could have been a healer.
That's the way that I read the story. Is like he could have saved Earth. He could have made that, but he didn't make that decision.
In theory, if he just scales up his powers like he did in this, but he scales in like a good direction with healing instead of death, right? It's just taking things the opposite way. Great power, great responsibility, but went in like the other way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was not responsible enough. So then I guess this kind of begs like the what do we think is going to happen next sort of situation. What does AL want going forward? So this has all already happened. Things did not go according to what she planned initially. Whatever. So we have the situation where she was already locked away in a tomb once, which possibly means, given that like Varun says she's asked for help, that she's already turned her sights against Jod, which is a little bit counter the story we were getting before from the lictors about how this was the bodyguard, right? That's how it's described in Harrow the Ninth in the character list. And yet she's been locked away in a tomb. She's described as the death of the emperor if she gets out, right? Like the reason to keep that locked. And now we have a situation where Varun has gotten in contact with her, and she's saying I might be different soon. And I don't know what that means. Like, what is she? Also, the body in the tomb is not Hollywood Barbie. Like, I don't know what body that is, or if he just like changed.
Why do you say the body in the tomb isn't Hollywood Barbie?
I thought it was described as being like dark haired, wasn't it? There's not.
Just stunningly beautiful.
Okay, so I won't read into that. But anyway, so she's locked in the tomb. Is she going back to her body? Is the full lock and key operation going to play out? We break the body out. Does she end up taking on a resurrection beast sort of shape? Like I don't know.
It's interesting because of like Gideon's soul, right, being like turned into a revenant of her body. And like in this, it was like God stuck her in like a urn, like a. Not an urn, but like
her body should be Earth, right?
Yeah.
Like the planet. Yeah. And like Varun makes a comment about like this, like, where is your body? And like, I don't think that's kind of a weird comment for a planet to make.
Yeah,
the spirit of a planet.
Part of her body is, or part of her like soul body is in John, and the other part is like stuffed into this like
vessel.
I mean, and there's something to be said because I think it's interesting.
And I also think that means that part of John must be in
her
Earth
as well.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with the like the lictors are scared of Electo, and she's like anger and vengeance, and it's like, well, yeah, like God created her in the moment of like utmost anger and vengeance. Like, is it because
part of him?
Yeah, is it because she's like necessarily like are RBs and spirits of planets necessarily always like angry and vengeful? No. Like the RBs have good reason, and then like she has a piece of John that is just vengeance and anger and vindictiveness, right? Like, is that really her fault? And then
meanwhile, Nona doesn't have a single vengeful bone in her body. So who's Nona? Anyway.
The weird Varun shit, yeah.
Yeah, but we're kind of getting towards it of like talking about some of the other comments that Varun made. So this is, I don't think that we're going to get anywhere with this, but yeah, they're coming out of their tower assault thing. There's a hole at the bottom of their tower. I will pull their teeth. I will make it a blink for you. So we've got, and you said their water is not our water. Anyway, so I don't know what he's talking about instead of just like Jod. The hole with teeth sure seems like River Stoma situation. The tower could be a Canaan house, which you've proposed for a long time might be connected to the river. I don't know if the river was even a thing in the before times, or if this was like part of Jod's creation when he ate Earth and gave it a vessel. Yeah,
we still don't really have definition on that, but we do remember that one of the lictors, I forget who, I gotta go reread Harrow again, like created we get like a throwaway line in classic Tamsin faction where it's like, you know, he created the banks of the river, or like it built like the Marie, I don't know if you can help us out here and remind me but it's like one of the lictors or even God like created the banks of the river or something along those lines. So it seems very much so that like
it was Augustine, wasn't it?
I don't know that I don't remember them saying anything about creating
or built
the banks of the river, but they could build there maybe. I think that's something that's bugged you before, is like them saying that they could build in the river or something.
Yeah. We're starting to wonder if the river and just like the flow of death and life is messed up with God, or if he created it to keep his powers going or something like that. But yeah, they coming out, we don't know who they are. They're coming out of their tower. There's a hole at the bottom of their tower. Is the tower just like on the other side of the like Stoma, right? Like, is it like the bottom of the river is like the bottom of their tower, and it's just like tower is, you know what I'm saying? Like the enemy's gate is down type situation where like depending on your perspective, God, piece of shit sci-fi writers. But like, you know what I mean, right? Like the tower is just like, depending on what perspective you're at, like the bottom of the tower is just the bottom of the river.
Yeah. I think so.
So who the fuck are they? Why are they coming out of their tower? Like I get, we have talked about this many times on our rampant speculation in terms of like, why is John doing what he's doing beyond just vengeance? Like, is he messing with the flow of life? Like what's across the river? Where do souls go in death? If it's not supposed to be the river, like rivers.
What objective? Like,
yeah.
God, how long can you just continue on without, like, the objective seems to be vengeance, but I can't imagine there being another one at this point.
Yep. I think we also got confirmation that like everyone, all the humanity out in the universe are just the descendants of the rich bastards that got away.
Yeah, so we got confirmation. That's kind of what you've always said, that we got confirmation there was a ship that got away.
Yeah.
And it was some of the rich bastards.
Unholy. And then, the other things is that I forgot I threw it out here randomly, but like we didn't talk about Gideon having just like a random bracelet made of like rope and fat or something on her wrist.
You brought that up. Fat.
Yeah, it says there's fat on it, right? Is that not what it said? Am I losing my mind?
Let's go.
No, it just said it was a fat bracelet.
I was going to say the fat.
It was like made of fat, or
no? I think it's not made of fat. I think it is just like a chonky bracelet.
Oh, well, there goes that piece. I was like, did Ianthe make her a friendship/control bracelet? Like I associate all things fat with Ianthe.
That seems fair, but it's an interesting idea in general because we don't know what that bracelet is and why it's being brought up and being noted. So I do think it's conspicuous. That's a nefarious idea that it has contact back with the houses, with the house leaders.
That's Chekhov's random bracelet. And then the only other thing I would say is that like John tried to fix Mercy's anxiety with necromancy, right? Or who'd you say it was?
We
Marie,
talked about
right?
this.
It was.
Yeah, it's Mercy.
Yeah. Which is number one, like kind of ironic because Mercy learns how to like fix all anatomy things when she comes back.
That's true.
Is weird. But the second thing is like John was clearly messing with the people in his circle via necromantic powers before he ascended and became like truly godly. And then the plans with the arm, like Gideon's body gets incinerated in a nuclear blast, but obviously Gideon 1 comes back, so he regrows them from a whole arm.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was the only one where he wouldn't have had like access to any part of the body. So
Yeah. Which also
Also-
wait, hold on. Which also means that God's just furthermore piece of shit. God could have regrown Ianthi's arm the whole time. The whole fucking time. He could have regrown the arm.
You trying to say God's a dick?
What the fuck, God? That just hit me.
Can we get Sonia to make merch that's what the fuck, God?
He's just purposely
God's
letting
a piece of
Ianthi
shit on the back.
walk around here with one arm for no reason. He can grow a whole
and was
person from
really
an arm.
impressed when Harrow did it.
What a bastard.
Well, I guess we'll see if any of that happens next time when John and Brooke find something very nearly perfect in Nona the Ninth Chapters 28 and 29.
And if you, dear listener, are like me and John and reading along for the first time, make sure you find our reading calendar on our website, frontline5th.podbean.com, or follow us on Instagram or TikTok. To support us, you can buy merch or join our Patreon, all of which are linked in the show notes. If you like this podcast, please share with your friends and give us a 5-star rating anywhere you can. And if you didn't like it, feel free to lie.